the past 18 months, I've helped 74 men achieve a six-pack and look in elite level condition. Here's a handful of the results you can see on screen. And I'm here to tell you in this video that the reason you don't have one yet, it's not your nutrition plan, it's not your training plan, it's not the amount of cardio you're doing, it's not the diet plan you're eating, it's not anything to do with that. Because let's be honest, how many videos have you watched online on how to get a six-pack? How many other people are trying to tell you 1 gram per pound of body weight and do this style of push-pull leg split? That's not your issue. That's never been your issue. And if you solely focus on that, you'll never get the six-pack. This is why most fitness advice online is pretty average, and you could probably go and get it straight off ChatGPT. Like within the click of a fingers, you could know how to get in shape. But that's not your issue, and there's a reason why that information alone does not help the masses. It does not help the majority of people because that's not their issue. The way we've achieved results like this is not by focusing on that. Of course, the credentials have to be there. You can't get in great shape without doing the meal plan, of course, just like you couldn't achieve anything without doing the actual work. The same with the training, of course. But they're an absolute given, especially for us inside the Gorilla Platoon. They're a given. But that's not the thing you want to focus on. You see, if it was like that, everyone would have a six-pack, right? Everybody would be in great shape. You just get printed off your plan and you go and do it. That's not your issue. Your issue is that for the longest of time, you have stacked habits, and we'll call these rocks in this basket. So at the minute, it looks like this. We've got 2 baskets. We've got the old version of you, and we've got the new version of you. So for the longest of time, you've done habits which have weighed you out into the old version of you. This is you, and here's a habit. I was really busy at work today, and I don't doubt that. 100%. I think most people are generally busy every fucking day. I don't doubt that. You probably have a job you're busy with, probably got family, probably got children, probably got like other commitments. I don't doubt you're busy. But the bad habit is you being mentally weak enough to say, that's my issue and that's why I can't get in shape. Because you're offsetting that. Whereas the strongest, best character version of you would take it on the chin and be like, you know what? Yeah, I'm busy, but like, I'll get it done anyway, because nothing is beyond me. As soon as you think something is beyond you, you're beaten. I can tell you right now that as long as you can visualize and see something, you can go and achieve it. Last Friday, I was in the UK running a Gorilla Platoon team photo shoot. You'll see that full video come out very soon, by the way. And I envisioned the event of where I'd sit down in front of my team, all looking in great condition, ready to get that photo. I thought about it, believed it until it came true. But the same will go the opposite way. If you believe you're too busy to get in shape, you just will never get in shape because your mind will only expand to the point in which you can see or believe. So that's one of your worst habits, is saying you're too busy or blaming something else. Another bad habit you will do is you will listen to your friends that have also never been in great shape and don't really like the idea of it either. Because let's be honest, getting in great shape takes a lot of work. It's painful, especially if you're like very far away from where you started. Let's say you're starting out. Here's a prime example. Let's say you look like this, okay? Like really far out, nowhere near getting a six-pack, had many years of bad habits, and it's going to take you a while. Let's be honest, like this result does not happen overnight. Of course it doesn't. It's going to take you a while, but why you're going to be so put off is the first few weeks, it's going to feel so alien. You don't feel like you're doing this. It's the same way if I started playing the violin, I'd feel like slightly uncomfortable, slightly out of position because I don't play the violin. I never have done. I don't see myself as the guy that plays the violin. So it goes against my character. That said, and here's a hack for everything, you need to see yourself as someone that can. I'd need to see myself as an instrumentalist. I'm not someone that's trying to play the violin. I'm someone that is going to change the mood of the masses, of millions, with the vibrational music that I play from my fucking violin as just one prime example. And that's the way you must view this when you're trying to get in shape, because it will be very painful trying to leave your old self. Very painful. And ultimately, this is where, and when I say it's not about the six-pack, this is where the value comes in. It's, yeah, we've got the non-negotiables to hit, but it's your ability to stay on course with those non-negotiables. And it's your ability to manage your mindset trying to take you off the center line when you're trying to get to the goal. That's going to be your issue here. Not to break off too quickly, but like if we said we've got current you, best version of you, you're going to go through life You'd want to go there from A to B in this quickest fashion, yeah? As efficient as possible. Fuck, we'll veered off a little bit. But then life is going to throw challenges at you. Your own brain, to be honest, is going to throw challenges at you. You'll start. Oh, I don't really feel like this. I'm this person. And my friends also said it's not really working, so I'm not really too sure whether this is for me. You are coming off your center line, your center focus and where you're going to. It may take you a while to actually get back onto the center line, in which case you've wasted 2 to 3 weeks of progress. This is what a lot of you are doing on a consistent basis. Also in the micro, you're eating processed foods because it's quick and easy. You're eating foods that are quick and easy rather than eating what you should. I actually think you understand about nutrition. I just think you're probably not doing what you should. I think if I were to set a camera in your house and watch you 24/7 for 7 days, there'd be a fair amount of times you didn't consistently stick to the plan that you knew you should have stuck to. I actually think, and I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt, you understand calorie deficit, macros, and the foods that should go inside that. I actually think you do understand that, and if you don't, you'll be able to find it out pretty fucking quickly, okay? But it's your ability to stay consistent to that, because you might have a busy day at work, but you didn't fucking prep your food. So because you didn't prep your food, you had to come home, and you had something very quick, and it was fairly processed, and it wasn't within your calories or macros, and it threw you off. Because the issue was not the meal plan, the issue was your organization. You have poor organization because you have a lower standard for yourself. When we went through training to be British paratroopers, our organisation had to be shit hot. Otherwise, we'd have been thrashed within an inch of our lives until our eyes literally bled. So the punishment was drastic. So we made sure we looked, what do we have tomorrow? What needs to be prepped? Bang, 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 bang. And then make sure we're in bed for a good enough time so we can be sharp and effective the next day. A lot of you are not doing this. A lot of you are not taking this that serious in the sense that you need to be that athlete version of you. So we must understand that you have stacked habits, and we'll call these rocks, in the basket towards the old version of you. So for the longest of time, this version of you is going to weigh you down. This is why when you try to get in shape, and this is what happens. You set off going from A to B, and you'll set off and you'll start making a little bit of progress. Boom, 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 boom. Week 1, great. Week 2, yeah, still good. Week 3, we're falling off a little bit now. Week 4, bang, fell off completely. Because you're starting to come away from your current character, point the A version. No, in fact, no, let's call this the 1 version of you, the 1.0 version of you. Let's call this that, 1.0. And this guy is the 2.0 version of you. So you're starting to come away from this 1.0 version of you. And your 1.0 version of you is your kind of identity. It's how you see yourself. It's how other people see you as well. So you have acted in a certain way. You've put yourself out into the world in a certain way. So let's get a new color out here. You've put yourself out into the world in a certain way here. The world has responded and given you feedback. The feedback has then confirmed how you see yourself. The problem is, if you're this like middle-aged guy that goes to the pub and watches football on a weekend is a guy that's respected for sinking 8 pints whilst supporting his football club, and your friends that also do the same give you positive feedback on that, you're going to see yourself as football fan that can sink 8 pints no problem and has a good bit of banter around it. That's what you're going to build your sense of self and your identity around. The problem is that sense of identity is not the guy that's going to be able to get you in shape, because you're trying to go from a guy that sinks 8 pints and is funny to a guy that is serious, that eats healthy and clean. Like, they're polar opposite ends of the spectrum. Of course, when you set off here, there's going to be this constant pull to snap back to the A version of you. Of course, this is going to feel like a second fucking job. Of course it is. Because it's painful to leave who you are to become that new version of you. But the problem is, you don't even know about this. Most people, this will be new news to you. You won't even understand the concept of needing to become a 2.0 version of you, an athlete version of you, a new character version of you. You don't understand that the issue is not the training plan, the meal plan, the cardio plan. The issue is the fact that you're this person, and this person is not capable of getting you to the physique you desire. You must become a new character. You must become the 2.0 version of you if you're to ever succeed in this. So there's this constant pull, and it will feel like a second job because you're trying to leave your old character self without even having a new one to even go to. You don't even know who you're trying to become. You're just trying to become funny guy that sinks pints, but also now is trying to get in shape and get a six-pack. It just doesn't go together, of course. So that you're always going to snap back to who you are most comfortable with here. And then you'll like simmer around here, a little bit of progress, probably try some fucking high rocks or some gay stuff. Or you'll do some other random stuff. And you'll stay around here and you'll never really make progress. But notice how many lines there are within this little section. That's still effort and time wasted. This still takes effort. You're not doing nothing. You're still doing something trying to become a different person. But because you will constantly see yourself as this version, you'll never really break too far away from you. So you may ask the question, well, how do we actually do this then? The quickest way to go from A to B in this analogy is not to go from A to B, it's to act like you're already the guy at B. You must act like you are an athlete, therefore live like an athlete, therefore you will look like an athlete. The same way you live, because you didn't wake up with a piss tank and like your ability to consume 8 pints and be funny. No. You didn't come out the womb like that. No one did. You trained your way into it by living in accordance with that archetype. You lived the person like that, then you became him. Your midsection slowly gained a couple more centimeters and inches as the years and months went by. You got a little bit more funny the more time you spent around the lads. And you got a little bit more upset the more your team got absolutely pummeled by the next one. So you grew into that archetype. You started at A, but you acted like the guy at B. In this analogy, it's not really the transformation we want you to go on. So you can do this, but we must now map out who is that 2.0 version of you. So we must go back to the sliding scale here and understand that the first thing we must do, before we start to try and stack more habits in the new version of you, although we'll come on to that, if we were to do this, basically, you, being this whole entity here, would just break and collapse and you'd like just sack it off anyway. Because you're trying to do your old habits with the old version of you, your new habits, new version of you, it's just not going to work. Obviously, you've got so much mental capacity. So, the first thing we must try and do is we must remove rocks from the old basket of you. And the first thing I want you to start to do is just to simply have some more autonomy over your 24 hours. You can only control the next 24 hours, and I only want you to think about that. The path is only going to illuminate as you walk it. So what I want you to do is, first and foremost, organise your day. As opposed to being someone that's disorganised, doesn't know his arse from his elbow, I want you to structure everything you need to get done within a given day. This is your obligation tasks of, let's call them general, like, human health. This is your, like, drinking water, walking 10,000 steps, eating and prepping your food. This is your work that you must go to within them hours. And let's say your family or any like responsibilities you've got outside that. Structure what you must do within a 24-hour period and make sure you leave room for 8 hours sleep in between. Even just by doing that, you will already feel better about yourself because you have more autonomy. The reason people get stressed in life is because things are not clear. I'm bringing clarity to your life and it will bring your stress down. The more clarity I bring to you, the more random bits of bullshit inside your brain we can drop off, and the more you can then become this version because I'm making space inside your brain. Again, the issue is not the meal plan. The issue is not the training plan. The issue is you don't have the mental capacity inside your brain to actually allocate time and resources and effort and energy towards this version of you. That's your issue. Your issue is not the training plan. Don't let people and this is why most fitness advice is trash, because they say, eat 1 gram per pound of body weight of protein. But the problem is you don't have the time to even prep those meals and stick to them for a consistent amount of time for that to even matter. That's why subsurface level information in ChatGPT is garbage, because it can't understand the way you live and why you live it. I can. I get it and I understand why. And this is how we achieve results that we do like this, because I understand the people, therefore I can reverse engineer how you need to live within a 24-hour period. So we're going to remove the old habits because it's so much easier to do less than it is to do more. It's so much easier to make a pact for yourself and say, I'm not going to watch porn anymore. It's not who I want to be. It's not who my best character version of self would be. Therefore, I'm not going to do it. and you make that promise with you. Because why? What does that achieve? That achieves you building integrity with yourself. Another reason you don't look the way you do is because for the longest of time, you've said you'll do something and you didn't fucking do it. Imagine me and you said, right, let's go meet for dinner at 7 p.m. Friday. And I turn up 20 minutes late. You'd be like, oh, so okay, fine, you turned up. We do it the next Friday. I turn up 17 minutes late. You're going to be like, oh, so this guy is just a guy that turns up late. I do it the next week. I don't even turn up. Your trust for me being at a place at the right time is going to be in the bin. The problem is that's what most of you have relationship with yourself. So I would simply want to get you to build integrity with yourself by saying you're not going to do something and then you don't do it. Delivering on what you said you would do or not do in this case. And this is another quick fix. You can just set 3 tasks. Just 3 tasks for you to do every day. Let's say it's you drink 4 liters of water, you walk 10,000 steps a day, and you get 8 hours sleep. You only do those 3 things. You've got to hydrate, right? You've got to move your body, and you're going to have to rest anyway. Why not document and record how much you want to do and do exactly that? Because you do that for a month, that's 90 pieces of data to show that you have integrity for yourself. It's so critical. A lot of you will probably turn up for other people, your work, your family, but you won't even turn up for your own self. And let's be honest, if you were someone that had turned up for yourself, you felt happier, you felt more content inside, more strong in your core, who's going to benefit? Your family, your work, everyone else around you that you're already trying to turn up for in a selfless way. Because who's going to be better for them? The version of you now or the version of you that's 20% more sure of himself, more happy, more certain? That version of you. So in a weird way, you want to look after the people around you, level yourself up first. It's the same way when you're flying on an aeroplane, they say, in the event that the oxygen mask come down, put yours on first, then put other people's on. Because you can't help other people if you're fucking suffocating, which most of you are. So we must remove these rocks that denote bad habits. And we're going to clear the basket. Again, let's just imagine this analogy. We've cleared the basket here. This now gives us an opportunity to wipe the playing field clean. So then at this point, it sits flat like this. Now, I am a human being and I understand you, and I know that straight away you're not going to be able to clear everything all at once. I am a human being, this takes time, otherwise everyone would be doing this overnight. So we still have a couple ones, but we can then start to stack habits that would denote the 2.0 version of you, the athlete version of you. This is a man that preps his day the night before. This is a man that sleeps 8 hours. This is a man that drinks 5 liters of water a day. I tell you right now, you do those 3 things alone, your life will be significantly better. Most of you are sleep deprived, most of you are dehydrated, most of you don't know your ass from your fucking elbow. If you just fix those 3 things, I'd say that those 3 things alone wouldn't get you the 6-pack, but they would make your life significantly better and position you into a place where you could really dial this in and actually go and get a 6-pack. Then from there, we can dial in eating the right amount of protein. We'll sit you at maintenance. We gym 3 times per week, nothing too crazy in the beginning. And we run this out for 4 to 6 weeks. We tick those off. We've got plenty of data points now to show that we are becoming the 2.0 version of you. But again, it wasn't about the 6-pack. It was about you living in accordance with the athlete version of you. So you now see yourself as an athlete. Okay? Athlete is not like an end outcome. Athlete is not really like a body or a sculpture. When you think athlete, you probably think of like the Nike advert where it like comes on and shows like athletes. That's not how I want you to view an athlete, because if I were to draw a line down this screen here, okay, let's move this out of the way. I were to draw a line down this screen here, and we can see there are 2 people. You've got person B, and we got person A. Now, let's say, for argument's sake, let's see how we can do this. Let's go for a lightish color. Let's go for a blue. Let's say I now draw a mirage, like blur out of over both our characters, but you can see what they're doing. The same way you ever gone on like a Zoom call and the person you're speaking to is like, you can see them, but behind them is like blurred out, so you can't see what's going on in the background. Well, imagine the whole image is like slightly blurred out. So you can see it, but it's not clear. You can't really see how the person looks or the shape of them. But you can see that the person is waking up. He's turning off an alarm clock that says 6 a.m. fuck off. They're both going out for steps. They're then both training. They're both, you can see like clearly they're both eating like a chicken and sweet potato and veg meal. And you can see them both going to bed at the same time. And you've seen them live. And you look at both and you think they both live exactly the same lifestyles. Both exactly the same person. However, I take the cover away from person A and you see a fat person. You see a really fat, 30% body fat human being with a nice, good gut. You see this guy. Now I take the cover away from person B and you actually see a physical athlete. The difference between the two within a 24-hour period was 0 because the athlete is a lifestyle, not a person. You will look a certain way because of living the lifestyle, absolutely, and that is, to go full circle in the video, what we're trying to achieve here, but you wouldn't know the difference between the two. So this is going to allow you to then live that lifestyle, confirm that who you are being is in accordance with that character, and because you then get feedback on the world from being that character, you continue to become the character. So you then, it cements itself in a positive feedback loop. Now, what challenges are you going to face doing this? Your friends will test your new character. Your partner will test your new character. I'll test your fucking new character as well. Because for the longest of time, you've been this person. So if you're going to try and change, it's going to be hard. Now, one analogy I always like to give is, when we joined the British Parachute Regiment, we went to a place in North Yorkshire called Catterick in England. This is quite a desolate place. There's often really bit hills and mountains. And we're away from our hometowns. Imagine trying to go from a civilian to a paratrooper in our hometown. Nigh on impossible, because there were too many distractions, too many confirmations of the old character version of us. However, because we're taken to this random place, away from everywhere, with people with the same goal, and mentors and coaches, literally like real paratroopers, that their job is to train us to the standard, we're able to go from civilians to paratroopers in 6 months. A massive transformation. Now, you need to create your version of this, because otherwise there's going to be challenges from friends that saying, oh, why are you not doing this? Challenges from even your partner, from you trying to become that new version of you. So I suggest you find new people that are going to support who you need to become. This is people close to you. This is maybe people inside an online community, whatever that looks and feels like. You find somebody that can pave the way for you. You find a mentor, a coach that is going to get you from point A to point B, because you will many times try to come off the center line. You need someone that can align you back to it to make sure you stay on the center line. Really, they're managing, this is never going to change. You're always going to have life events to throw you off. But if we can control your mindset to get back to the center line much quicker and stay on the center line, you're going to become the new character version of you. Obviously, this is what we do inside the Guerrilla Platoon, so there'll be links in the description if you want to come and join us, you want me to do this for you, then ultimately this is what we do. But you must understand that you will face challenges, because people have seen you as the 1.0 version of you for the longest period of time. No one really likes to see things change or people change. But you're going to have to in order to get the 6-pack, because the issue is not your meal plan. Your issue is your ability to actually execute and stick to something for the longest period of time. That's why you don't look the way you do. Sure, yeah, there might be some minute tweaks that you're doing wrong, like you're probably going too low on calories too early, rather than starting a bit higher and instead pushing your output up higher instead. You're probably doing something like that, and your metabolism is in the bin. Yeah, sure, but for the most part, it's your ability to stick to things over the longest period of time. The message I want to leave you with is, don't try to get a 6-pack at the current version of you, because it won't work, because it's not worked for a reason. You must leave this character version of you. You must become the 2.0 character version of you. This is step 1 when people join the Guerrilla Platoon. They will watch the lecture, how to become the 2.0 version of them, and they will do the document practice. Why? Because you need to know who you're leaving and who you're becoming to, and the process in the middle, that is what you're doing on a day-to-day basis. But you don't need to worry about the start and the end. You only need to worry about 24 hours to become that new version of you. Everyone can manage acting a certain way for 24 hours. But what we do is we make you do that for 24 hours until you hit the goal. Some people will lose 30 kilos. Some people will fucking We do it in 12 weeks. Everyone is at a different starting point, and that is okay. But the most important factor is you go from looking, as you can see the photos on the left here, to the athlete version of you, the 2.0 version of you. And that is how you get the physique that you actually desire. So if you found this video value, great, subscribe to the channel. We turn up daily to give out the information, speaking on mindset concepts about this. If you want to come join us inside the Gorilla Platoon, there'll be links in the description. Follow those through, and I will see you on the inside. Thanks for listening as always, and I'll see you tomorrow.